My name is Danielle Smith. I am a mixed media fiber artist from Fredericton, New Brunswick. For me, I use a lot of different techniques. I use needle felting techniques. I use wet felting techniques. As you can see here, I use a lot of beading in my work. So it just means I use a bunch of different media or different mediums in order to create the work. I am traditionally trained as an ecologist, and I work full-time as an environmental advocate. So I take a lot of inspiration from nature for my work, and I also utilize my work as a means of communicating around the importance of climate advocacy and environmental protection. Typically, I tend to gravitate towards really natural colors. Most of the work I've created to date has been inspired by the forest floor and mushrooms, so I tend to really gravitate towards those colors. But for this particular project, I've been pushing myself outside of my comfort zone and really exploring with like high contrast, bright colors in order to sort of meet the brief of making a piece of art for people that may have visual impaireds. So kind of providing that contrast so that it's easier to differentiate the colors. I've been looking at a lot of pictures of coral reefs from different places like South Africa and Australia in order to really capture some of those really bright, vibrant colors that you might find. And the interesting thing about corals from an environmental advocacy perspective is that they're quite endangered and they're very sensitive to temperature change, which is something that climate change is kind of causing around the world. So what I'm trying to do is just give somebody who doesn't have any sight the opportunity to feel a lot of different textures. I've included beads in some and left some smooth so that with somebody who doesn't have sight, you kind of get a different feeling depending on which cup you're touching. And I just use seed beads to make these sort of fan-like corals, and they kind of give that nice sort of movement that you might see in water. My work has traditionally been very tactile in nature because it's mixed media and because nature isn't just flat and smooth, right? So a lot of the times I'm often focusing on different heights and different feeling of the fibers that I'm using in order for things to have a different texture, even visually. And so I really felt drawn to this particular project because I can actually give people permission to touch it, because it's probably one of the most fun things about the work that I do is that it does make you want to touch it. And I think it's just a perfect opportunity to kind of showcase that art is more than just visual. When I was at the Maxquack Craft Festival last year, I was doing demonstrations and everybody kept being like, "Can I touch it?" I was like, "Please, please touch it."